Hi. Well, 2 videos in one day is a lot for me. So anyway, I wanted to bring up the subject and let's discuss it a little bit and use the Word of God to try to figure out the truth. What are ghosts, really? You know, in the Bible, in 2 Corinthians 5:8, it says, "We are confident, I say, and willing, rather to be absent from the body and to be present with the Lord." So if you're not in your body and you're a ghost, if that's what you want to call it, I call it spirit, and you are a Christian, you are present with the Lord. After you die, you go to the Lord. So my question is, what are people seeing? Because they're not seeing Christians that have died because they've gone to the Lord. So what are they? Okay, if you remember or have been taught, the disciples were on the water one day, and all of a sudden they saw someone walking on the water. And it said in Luke 24:37, but they were terrified and affrighted and supposed that they had seen a spirit. So I looked up what that word spirit was. Of course, it was Jesus walking on the water, but it is very obvious that they were really, they knew about ghosts or they knew about spirits. And so why were they scared? It wasn't some new concept. All right. Well, the word spirit there says it can be a soul, angel, or demon. So anyway, let's look at Deuteronomy, because God said we're not supposed to look at these things. We're not supposed to entertain this stuff. When thou art come into the land, hang on a minute, let me just fix this a little bit. Which the Lord thy God giveth thee, thou shalt not learn to do after the abominations of those nations. What? Okay. There shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that uses divination, or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch, or a charmer, or a consulter of familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer. Well, isn't that interesting? And then he says, for all that do these things are an abomination unto the Lord, and because of these abominations the Lord thy God doth drive them out from before thee. Well, if you want to know what a familiar spirit is, the definition for a familiar spirit is a demon. And mediums call up their spirit guides, they call them, which are really demons that are familiar spirits, which take on I've got a glow on me. Which take on the appearance of someone that has died. So in other words, they're deceptive. They're trying to trick you into believing it is a dead Aunt Nellie, even though Aunt Nellie is with the Lord. Okay, but there's still a question. What are these spirits? You know, the dead, you're not supposed to speak to the dead. It says that necromancers are those that speak to the dead to obtain information about the future. So it said, don't be a necromancer. So there are dead, right? That means they're not living with God. They are not alive. You know, as a Christian, that we are going to be alive forevermore. And God always likens the dead to the lost, to those that aren't going, to those that missed heaven. And so, what are ghosts? There's one thing we definitely do know. If your departed loved one knew the Lord, you're not speaking to them. The danger is, whom are you speaking to? Demons of deception? The dead that are doomed? It's something to think about anyway. Using the Word of God, I think it's a smart thing to do. So I would suggest you be careful talking to the dead. All right, God bless. I hope this helps some of you. And I'm sorry if this video is really not quality. I just don't know how to do it too well. All right, God bless.